The need for greater transparency in government policies was one of the issues raised by students at a forum chaired by Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister Tharman Shanmugaratnam at the Nanyang Technological University on Wednesday.
So what are your thoughts on having greater transparency in our immigration policies? Having our PR selection criteria publicly known, for instance?
It doesn't mean that you tell everyone exactly what your criteria are and exactly what points they are, and the system is somehow better. I think there'll be many unintended consequences. In general, I think we can get more transparent, but most important, I think, is not the criteria, but the broader debate that we have to settle, which is how much of an inflow of foreigners should we have, how fast, in other words, what level and how fast we bring them in.
I think what is important is that we have a Freedom of Information Act, where public citizens can be able to retrieve information from state obtained information. We should, at the same time, talk about greater transparency about our reserves.
I don't think a system that's weighted 100% towards transparency is the best system. That's my view. I agree that in general, we need more transparency in public policy. I agree that that would be helpful. I think that there have to be some areas that remain confidential, and some of these are obvious things like defense.
The forum's theme was on challenges ahead for Singapore. When asked about the need for more liberal press here, DPM said that the media landscape has changed significantly over the past few years.
Compared to 5 years ago, I'm not even talking about 10, 15, 20 years ago, even 5 years ago, it is a much freer debate of ideas. Everything gets reported. Not everything ends up on the front page with the headlines, but things get reported and you can find it. Should it go even further? I would say let's go further step by step.
How do you get people to stand behind unpopular but important and prudent policies, preventing Singaporeans from pandering to a more populist but unwise policies?
Let me say that it will get more difficult. It will get more difficult to achieve what you talked about, not just in terms of people backing policies. One of the key things we have to try and avoid is the polarization in politics that we now see in a whole range of more mature societies.
With the announcement of Singapore's 5th and 6th university and the expansion of university places, questions were also raised on whether this will diminish the value of degrees.
The first thing that we had to accept is that one way or another, more Singaporeans are going on to get their degrees. They're going abroad, they're doing it locally through various external private degrees. They're spending a lot of family resources on it. And I think it is fair for us to make more of a public investment to help them to get their degrees. But what is equally important, if we want to talk about fairness, is to make sure that the degree that they're getting is going to be worth something in the market. And we want to use this public investment not just to create more university places, but to make sure that the public investment is skewed towards a type of training that develops skills that are more likely to be worth something in the market. And that means more skills-based training, more applied training.
Other issues discussed include how to achieve work-life balance and Singapore's rising divorce rates. Watch the full Q&A session with DPM Tharman in our front seat clips.